I chose Advantage lifts for a number of different reasons. I thought the build quality, the design, and especially the locking mechanism was one of the key features. Didn't require an air compressor. It had a really solid quality feel to the locking mechanism, made the whole lift feel a lot stronger.
So I was looking for a product that had very good durability, and it was extremely important for me to have a piece of equipment that I could rely on. So if I'm under there working on the cars, or if I'm storing the car and I have another car underneath, I don't have to worry about any problems with the lift. The other major advantage of Advantage lifts was the support. I had very good support during installation. They came out within a couple days of purchase, and they had the lift installed within a day. There was a couple adjustments that needed to be made. They were out the very next day to get those adjustments done. I was completely impressed. And he's always available if we have questions. So it's as a car guy, as a hobby guy, this is an awesome piece of equipment to have in the garage.
Hi, I'm Tony with Advantage Lifts. I'm here to tell you about our 4-post lifts, the features and benefits of why Advantage lifts stand above the rest. First thing that I believe in is that I am a big believer in the outside slider. Outside slider means we have a 5x5 square tube for our post. And then we have a 6x6 slider that wraps completely around that post. This is a steel sleeve. This eliminates the wiggle and wobble of a lift that you have in the C-channel types. We cut our locks directly out of the post themselves instead of it being a welded on tab or a hanging ladder bar that hangs from the top plate of your post. Some other advantages we do. Our locks are 3/4 inch thick versus 1/2 inch in the market. We have a collar that has a set screw in it, but we also go on top of that and put a snap ring on the outside to enable, so this does not have no chance of coming off by accident. All of our heims are bigger heims. We use bigger linkage rods so they don't bend when you're using your lock rod. If you look down on the bottom, you'll see our base plates are 12 inch by 12 inch, 5/8 inch thick. And the reason we do that is because when you weld this post to that base plate, if it's less of a diameter, what it does is it warps them plates. It doesn't give you a good foundation that we give you with this lift here. Some of the other advantages you'll find is our crossbar. Most crossbars are 2x4 by 3/16 diameter. We do 2x4 by 1/4 inch, making it a heavier, thicker crossbar. And you'll notice there's no holes drilled in the side here of this post that a lot of people do to hang their casters from. That weakens these. This keeps the strength involved in this crossbar. We have drive-through, so you can come on or off of the lift on either end. It doesn't matter. These are aluminum ramp stops. They're cut down low so that if you own a low-setting car or Corvette, you don't have to worry about the spoiler hitting that and tearing that off after you just got your lift. And so that's another advantage for there. You'll notice down here on the bottom we have casters. The way this works, you put the casters on only when you're going to move the lift from location to location, from one side of the garage or to the other. You put them in with a pin, insert that in, put them on. Now when you lower the lift down, this cross arm will set into the saddle. And as it continues to go down, it pushes this part down and raises your legs up automatically. It's a cantilever effect, and it makes it to where you can move this lift from bay to bay. When you're done with moving it, you pull the pin, move the casters, and you'll store them 90% of their life somewhere else, because this crossbar will go all the way to the bottom of the lift. Some other advantages you're going to notice is you'll see our power unit is off to the side of our post. You got two ways to put that. You can put it on the inside so it's no wider than the lift, or you can mount it. There's 2 extra holes on the top to mount this on the outside like you see in a lot of other lifts. So it's your choice how you like to have it set up. Another benefit with our lifts is you'll notice that we put a rail weld all along the inside of both sides of our track. That rail does 2 things. Number one, it makes all of our jack trays roll on casters. How nice is that to be able to roll from end to end without it having to roll on the top of the track? Second thing this does, when I weld this on completely from side to side, that strengthens my tracks. we have no flex or no bow in these tracks because we have reinforced them here, and then we've also boxed in the outside of the tracks, which I'll show you in just a few minutes. With the lift raised up, I'd like to show you some of the benefits that we have underneath this lift. Number one, you'll notice on our cable block, we put a set of roller wheels on the outside of this. This has tendency, it's a honed cylinder, and so that block wants to turn. And what it'll do is scrape the bottom of your track. We put the wheels on here, keeps that straight as it runs back and forth, going in and out. A second thing, we do a small orifice inside of our cylinder so that the fluid that travels in and out of that works as a flow restrictor. So you don't have to worry about if a hose were to break, if the lift was going to drop. It's still going to go the same speed because it's got to go through that small orifice. We do what's called cable keepers. We have a bolt that runs up right beside our pulleys, and you'll notice that they hold the cable onto the groove of the pulley. The cable cannot come off of there until you remove these bolts. That's a nice thing in these 4-post lifts because it happens all the time that a cable comes off of the pulley and now it's rotating on the shaft, and the next thing you know it breaks the cable, and then they're worried about that one side falling. This eliminates the problem easily with just little bolts that go up there, holds it onto the pulley. You'll also notice we take and box in our tracks. All the way on the inside. I showed you the rails on the back side, but if you look here on the outside, it's boxed in on the sides. For extra strength, once again, we don't have to worry about any flex or bow with these tracks. Another benefit with this lift is our locking system. This is a deadbolt lock system. The way it works is when you raise it up, you're going to see this handle move about a 1/2 inch. When that does that, that tells you that now it's able to open up the locks. That opens up all 4 corners from a single location. Now, the nice thing about it, we put a high tension spring on each lock to where if something were to go wrong with your lift, all you do is let go of this, and you can hear that flies back with force. You want those locks to fly into the very next lock hole that it would stop on. Now, I want you to watch this. As this goes down, you'll see this trap, that lock. It's got down force setting down onto the lock. It's trapped on this stop at the top, takes all the pressure off of your cables to where now you have everything setting on steel cables. The longevity of your lift is going to last for a lot longer because you're not using your cylinder and you're not using your cables at this time at storage. You'll also notice with this being the outside slider, this can't move this way because it's wrapped around the post, or it can't move this way because it's wrapped around the post. So this lock cannot come off of that lock until you actually raise it up and disengage the lock with the handles. Now I'd like to tell you what's included and what some of the options are with our lifts. You get a set of casters with our lift. You also are going to get the aluminum stops. You get a 110 power unit that works off of a 20 amp breaker. How convenient is that? So you can move this around and plug it into any outlet that you already have in your garage. You get a rolling jack tray. You get 4 drip trays to catch that leak. If you happen to have a car that leaks on the top, you can position these to be able to catch all the leaks so it doesn't leak onto the bottom car. You also will get a set of aluminum ramps that are fully reinforced, 36 inches in length. That will accommodate a Corvette to go up on it without any drag at all. And then some of the options that you can get is you can get an aluminum insert that goes in the middle here that gives you a full deck to where if you have snowmobiles, lawnmowers, or whatever you want to put on here, it gives you a full deck to be able to lift anything in the garage clutter maybe. Okay, and another option we have with our 4-post lift is a hydraulic scissor jack. We have them in 2 different versions. We have a hand pump option, or we take this out and replace it with an air assist over hydraulic. And so this is a scissor jack that raises up. If you want to take the tires off of a car, it takes the car and raises it front or rear and be able to lock and make it very stable to be able to work under your car. It has a very low clearance. It's 3 inches drive over clearance so that you're able to get on and off the lift without dragging the bottom of this jack. And it raises up to 18 inches high. Well, I hope I've been helpful on helping you make a decision on buying a 4-post lift. I've showed you lots of benefits of the Advantage lifts. This is our 9,000 pound lift. We have also an XLT that raises a little higher, and it also is a little wider. And then we also have an 11,000. If you've got the long bed 4-door dually, that lift will do the job for you as well. Check out our website. Some of the items that I was not able to talk about are listed right there. Or if you happen to be going to any car shows, come by and see us in person, and you'll be able to put hands on the product and be able to see all the different advantages that we have over the competition that's out there. My name is Tony, and I'm with Advantage Lifts, and I hope to see you soon. Give us a call. We have them in stock. I got one for you. Thank you.